Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Dr. Jason Uchida. I'm a doctor of naturopathic medicine and your host of this program. Welcome to Island Wellness, a program designed to educate you about naturopathic medicine. Today is April 17th, 2011. I graduated from the National College of Naturopathic Medicine in Portland, Oregon in 1988. I've been practicing naturopathic medicine in the state of Hawaii for the past 23 years. Naturopathic physicians are licensed in the state of Hawaii as primary care providers, just like medical doctors. Let me give you a brief introduction to naturopathic medicine. Naturopathic medicine is a primary healthcare system founded on the honored universal principle that the human body has the mechanisms in it to heal itself, no matter what the current status may be. Therefore, the human body is the ultimate healer. Furthermore, a physician's true role is to support this process by using modalities of treatment that work in harmony with the body's natural healing ability. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, practiced these same principles thousands of years ago. Many of you have never experienced the power of naturopathic medicine and the unparalleled healing force of the human body. Since I began my practice in 1988, naturopathic medicine has literally helped thousands of my patients recover from the most severe and life-threatening diseases and many other chronic ailments that conventional medicine had no answers for. On this television program, my patients share their courageous and inspirational stories with you. I hope that their stories provide you an understanding of how naturopathic medicine can help harness the tremendous healing potential that God has instilled in the human body to heal itself. Well, that's enough about me and naturopathic medicine. Let's find out if it works. To help illustrate this, I typically ask a patient to share his or her experience with naturopathic medicine so that you can get a better understanding of how this safe and effective form of medicine works. Today's guest suffered from the incurable skin disease psoriasis for over 20 years. Her psoriasis was so bad she looked like a burn victim. The skin of her entire body looked as if it was completely peeled right off of her. The pain she suffered from was agonizing and relentless. Her skin was beet red and purple, raw, swollen, and crusting over like a scab covering her entire body. And she was shedding skin by the pound each and every day. What makes her story incredible is that conventional medicine has no cure for psoriasis. Stay with us to hear Evelyn tell her story of how long she suffered with this biblical-like skin affliction, how many medical doctors she sought help from, how many medications she took without relief, and finally what she did to eliminate this painful, agonizing skin affliction with naturopathic medicine. Today, about 8 million Americans suffer with psoriasis. Psoriasis is an autoimmune disease, and therefore, according to conventional medicine, there is no cure for it. Other autoimmune diseases are rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus, scleroderma, Sjogren's syndrome, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, fibromyalgia, pulmonary fibrosis, multiple sclerosis, and interstitial cystitis, to name the most common. There are 5 types of psoriasis. The most common form, plaque psoriasis, occurs about 80% of the time and appears as raised red patches or lesions covered with a silvery white buildup of dead cells called a plaque. Psoriasis can occur on any part of the body and is associated with other serious health conditions such as diabetes mellitus, heart disease, and depression. Other types of psoriasis are guttate psoriasis, which appears as small red individualized spots on the skin. The third type is called inverse psoriasis, usually appears as red inflamed patches covering the folds of the body, such as the underarm pits, inner elbows, behind the knees, and the back of the neck, which is similar in placement to atopic dermatitis and eczema. Pustular psoriasis is characterized by white pustules which look like blisters filled with pus, surrounded by red inflamed skin. These lesions usually are localized, covering certain areas of the body. However, it can be generalized and cover the entire body. The 5th and most severe form of psoriasis is erythrodermic psoriasis. Erythrodermic psoriasis is the most inflammatory form of psoriasis and often affects the entire body. It is characterized by its fiery redness and extreme shedding of skin. It is often accompanied by severe itching and pain. Erythrodermic psoriasis causes extreme protein loss and fluid loss that can lead to severe illness. Severe swelling around the ankles are common and may develop into infections. The body's temperature regulating system is often disrupted, producing extreme shivering episodes. Erythrodermic psoriasis can cause life-threatening infections, pneumonia, and congestive heart failure. The most common known trigger of erythrodermic psoriasis are systemic corticosteroid medications. The typical medication used to treat severe cases of psoriasis are systemic corticosteroid medications, as well as chemotherapy medications such as methotrexate and cyclosporin. As you have heard and seen on my past programs, many of my psoriasis patients have come in to see me suffering from the erythrodermic form of psoriasis after they have been prescribed systemic corticosteroid treatments for months or years. It is also not uncommon for an individual to have 2 or more forms of psoriasis occurring at one time or as their illness progresses over the years. So how severe is severe? Medicine considers psoriasis that is covering 2% or less of the body as being mild. The surface area of one palm is considered 1% of the body. A moderate case of psoriasis is 3 to 10% coverage, and severe as greater than 10% coverage. According to Science and Medicine, psoriasis and other autoimmune diseases are caused by toxins that are being produced within the body. The body's immune system then responds against these toxins with a type 3 and type 4 immune system response. The type 3 and type 4 immune system responds by collecting these roaming toxins and escorts these toxins out of the body through its largest elimination organ, the skin. While the immune system is removing these toxins, it destroys the foreign invaders by releasing chemotactic acids that unfortunately damages the skin, which produces the psoriasis. So because medicine and science understands the physiologic and immunologic nature of psoriasis, the course of medical treatment is to stop this type 3 and type 4 immune system response by prescribing systemic corticosteroid medications, which are also called immunosuppressive treatment. These medications stop the immune system from removing and attacking these endotoxins, which relieves the inflammation in psoriasis. But if the toxins are not being removed or eliminated out of the body, where are these toxins going? They're staying in the body and building up and accumulating in the body, only to be removed and eliminated by the immune system another day, when a flare-up can be expected and the psoriasis gradually worsens. It may produce the most severe type of psoriasis, the erythrodermic form. Naturopathic medical philosophy is to look for and treat the cause of psoriasis. The cause of psoriasis, we know, are these toxins that are within the body. The treatment is to eliminate these toxins and prevent it from re-entering or being reproduced within the body. Evelyn, thank you so much for joining us on Island Wellness and sharing your incredible story with us today. Evelyn, the viewing audience has seen a few of your photos already. However, your psoriasis was actually a lot worse than the photos that we took of you. Can you explain how bad your psoriasis was at its worst, how much of your body was covered by the psoriasis, and how bad it hurt?
I was covered 94% of my body. It was very red, scaly, purplish, very itchy.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, it was really raw.
It was really raw.
Really raw.
Yeah, it looked like, when you were at your worst, like your skin was just basically peeled right off your body.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was very raw. And you must have suffered quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you explain to the audience how bad the pain felt to you?
It was really bad to a point where, like, at night, I couldn't lay at a certain part of my body because it was like, it's kind of like pussy. It was very pussy, very uncomfortable, just because, like I said, in certain areas, I couldn't lay on my side, for instance.
So you had a lot of open wounds.
Open wounds, yeah.
And you were weeping a lot of either pus or serum.
Yes.
Right. So you also suffered from the most extreme form of psoriasis that's called erythrodermic psoriasis, which is very inflamed.
Right.
You could also have pus coming out, but very raw and painful. You know, and it can. You also, at your worst, your legs were also very swollen.
Yeah.
Would you tell the audience how that looked?
Swollen to a point where I couldn't walk. I was bedridden for a couple months. I walked like an old lady where my body was hunched down. It was very bad.
Yeah. I mean, your tiny little ankles look like thighs.
Thighs.
Yes. And your feet were pretty swollen. And that's one of the associated side effects of having erythrodermic psoriasis. Evelyn, before you came in to see me in 2007,
Right.
how long did you suffer from psoriasis?
About 20 years.
About 20 years.
20 years.
And I guess off and on it was covering your whole body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you tell us how the psoriasis negatively affected your life?
It affected me emotionally, physically. Emotionally because I couldn't wear certain clothes during the summer. I couldn't wear dresses. I couldn't wear shorts. I haven't worn shorts for years. Years. I mean, throughout the whole time, I haven't worn shorts.
The audience probably doesn't understand what you're saying. I mean, you know, you're saying you didn't wear shorts at all, day or night, basically, for years.
For years.
Because why didn't you want to wear shorts or short sleeve shirts?
Because I was covered. I mean,
you were hiding.
For me, I wasn't comfortable enough to go out and be able to expose my skin.
Yeah.
So
your psoriasis was that bad?
That bad.
That you didn't want other people to see it?
No.
Yeah. So for like 20 years, you were wearing long sleeve shirts, long pants, during the days, in summertime.
Summertime. Yeah.
You okay?
I'm okay.
Yeah. I guess it brings up a lot of emotions for you. Yeah. So, you know, today we see you.
Finally.
You look good.
Over, this has been like what? 4 years now? So it's really nice. Really, really nice.
Let me get you some Kleenex. Here you
Thank
go.
you.
You all right?
I'm okay.
All right. Yeah, and you know, most of my patients who have suffered from chronic eczema or psoriasis, they become very good at hiding the psoriasis. So a lot of times, from what I hear from maybe their children or even from the patients themselves, is that they're known as a person who wears the turtleneck long sleeve shirts and long pants during the hottest days of the year. For instance, at like their children's graduation, you know. So in that way, it really affected you physically, mentally, and emotionally. Yeah. So you also tended not to do a lot of things that people do in Hawaii.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you miss out on that you wanted to do?
I wanted to go swimming. I wanted to go hang out at the beach. I mean, the pool with the kids. What else? I love to go hiking, and I didn't do that. I've always dreamt of hiking, so, you know, I mean, that was something that I couldn't do. Just because long sleeve again, long pants. I mean, how do you go hiking?
Hot.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, all right. You know, suffering from psoriasis for 20 years, you must have seen medical doctors to help you for the psoriasis. Can you tell the audience how many medical doctors you went to see and what was the typical treatment that they gave you?
Before I went to see you, I saw 3 doctors.
Okay.
They each prescribed me ointments, which was not good, and it didn't work.
Didn't work.
I did the UV light treatment.
Okay.
I took some pills for my itching.
Okay. So the treatment was virtually the same from doctor to doctor
Right.
to doctor. And obviously, I guess the treatment didn't work.
No.
And that's why you had to hide your psoriasis.
Right.
All right. You know, you had mentioned that the psoriasis was pretty itchy. A lot of people with psoriasis, my patients tell me that it's a nightmare. You know, the itch is a nightmare at night. Can you kind of explain that for the listening audience, the viewing audience, what that means?
A good example is just imagine a dog just full on scratching the whole entire time. That's what it's like. I mean, I could be deep sleeping, but I'm scratching at the same time.
So you're sleeping and you don't even know you're sleeping.
I don't even know. And that's the worst time because that's when your body's relaxed.
Mhm.
So what else do you do but scratch?
Yeah. You
So-
just notice the itch even more.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not doing anything to take your mind
Right.
off the itching.
Mhm.
One of the patients had mentioned that on TV before, that he felt like a dog, where he would just scratch and scratch and scratch, trying to scratch that itch, but no matter how much he scratched, he couldn't scratch that itch.
Right.
So he just kept going on and on and on. You have mentioned to me, as well as a few other patients who have psoriasis, that one of the messy things about psoriasis is that your skin flakes off a lot.
Right.
Can you mention to the viewing audience what psoriasis looks like and how the skin flakes off?
It's scaly. It looks white. It's like dry skin, but it's thicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, silvery looking.
Silvery looking, right. So it looks sort of like fish scales.
Yes.
Yeah. And they come off in different sizes,
Right.
from very tiny to
Big.
patches. Maybe like at the largest, maybe like an inch or so
Yes.
in diameter. Some patients have mentioned that they collected quite a bit of skin every day. Can you talk about that so that the audience can get an idea of how much skin actually comes off your body each and every day?
It's crazy a lot. There's so much where you leave traces of your skin, from on the couch to your bed, everywhere, wherever you're at, it leaves skin. Yeah.
A patient said they collected their skin and they had a couple of handfuls of piles of skin. So some have mentioned it might weigh as much as like a half a pound. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's a lot of skin coming
skin.
off. All right. When you came in to see me in 2007, do you remember where your psoriasis lesions were and how bad it was back then?
I had it all over my body, from my neck to my back, on my tummy, my legs, my thighs, everywhere, on my scalp, my face. Yeah.
The audience is seeing some of your lesions that you had, and that's not the initial photos that those photos aren't of your first visit. I mean, your initial visit, you were pretty bad off.
Pretty bad.
You know, the lesions were, and that's probably why maybe we didn't take photos of you, because I'm sure you were embarrassed.
Yeah.
Would you tell the audience how you came into the office? You know, the first couple of visits. You recall what you were wearing?
I was wearing long sleeve and a skirt, but a long skirt. And a hat. I know I wore a hat to see you.
One of the visits, you came in with sweatpants and sweat jacket, because you were really cold.
I was very cold.
We got to talk about that too. But you had the hood on, covering virtually your whole face. All we could see was your eyes.
Nice.
You know, so and you almost looked like you could have also had like a coat on your body, because you were covered from virtually maybe about 99% of your body.
99%.
Just your eyes peering out, and it kind of reminded me of, you know, Star Wars. They had those little animals that was helping Luke Skywalker and his gang.
Right.
And they were all you could see was their eyes.
Eyes, yeah.
And you reminded me like that. But you just wanted to cover up all your psoriasis when it was at its worst. You also suffered from insomnia, severe fatigue, headaches, and nausea, constipation, and menstrual problems. Would you tell us about these symptoms, how bad they were, and how they affected you?
For my headache, I've had it every single day. I was always tired, sluggish. My menstrual cramps would always be worse whenever I had my menstrual cramps.
Did you have them regularly?
Regularly, but
Okay.
I mean, my cramps were
Bad.
bad. Mm-hmm.
You have to take medications for them?
No, I just endured the pain.
You don't like to take medications in general?
No.
Okay. All right, sorry, go ahead. The nausea?
Yes.
How bad was the nausea?
Bad.
When did you have it?
Usually, typically in the morning.
In the morning,
In
as
the
soon as you woke
morning.
up?
Yeah.
Virtually every morning?
Not every morning, but every so often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us about the constipation. How often would you move your bowels?
Once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah.
Not very often?
Not very often.
Okay. Evelyn, why did you decide to try naturopathic medicine for your psoriasis, and why did you choose me?
Well, I didn't know about naturopath when I saw you. So
Oh.
someone recommended somebody recommended me to see you.
Mm.
It was a friend of mine, and her mom told me, "Oh, why don't you go and see Dr. Cheetah?" So I'm thinking, okay, is this going to be another regular doctor? Because I've never heard of naturopath.
Oh, okay.
So
You didn't want the regular conventional medicine treatment, actually, I guess,
At
because
that-
it didn't work the first 3 times.
yes.
Okay. All right. Who referred you to me?
One of your patients that was
Ah.
seeing you for breast cancer.
Breast cancer?
Mm-hmm.
She's actually doing pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah, you know her well?
Not really. I know the daughter, but
Oh,
not the
okay.
mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and she saw me about like 10 years ago for the
Yes.
treatment of breast cancer, and cancer-free now.
Yeah.
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 All right, we can talk about maybe her daughter at the end of the program. She's a good friend of yours.
She's a good friend.
All right. But her mother referred you to come to see me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you knew nothing about naturopathic medicine?
No.
You're a brave lady. What did I say was causing your psoriasis when you came in to see me?
It was the treatment that I had previously before I saw you with the doctors and my food that I was eating.
Okay. Yeah, so in general though, anyone who suffers from autoimmune diseases, whether it's psoriasis or rheumatoid arthritis, the cause is that there are toxins in that person's body
Right.
that the immune system is removing with a type 3 and type 4 immune system response. And that's why these poisons will, the immune system are eliminating these poisons out through the skin
Right.
or attacking them in the joints or in the organs. And that's why autoimmune diseases, they basically are related to each other. The difference is where the immune system is attacking the poisons and causing the damage. So in the case of psoriasis, your skin.
Mm-hmm.
So did that make sense to you?
Yes.
So in general, what we do in naturopathic medicine is treat the cause. So the cause of psoriasis is the toxins. So we're going to try to figure out what those toxins are and eliminate them from the body. Conventional medicine, because we both understand that that is what causes autoimmune diseases, conventional medicine uses immunosuppressive treatment, right? So that's the corticosteroids, the prednisone, the methotrexate, and they all weaken the immune system so that they don't attack the poisons, thereby giving that person relief from their condition, psoriasis, for a little while. But if the immune system isn't removing the toxins anymore, where are the toxins going? They're building up in the body, only to be released another day, where then you would get another flare-up.
Right.
Is that kind of what happened to you? You would get flare-up get better and then get another flare-up, and then get better, get another flare-up with the medications?
For the first couple years that I've seen the conventional doctors, it did happen to me, but because I was taking the ointments for so long, my body was so immune to it that it came to a point where I didn't get better at one point.
Yeah, so the ointments didn't even work
No.
on you anymore.
Yeah.
So the poisons, the level of poisons are so high that the immune system is choosing to ignore the immunosuppressive drug. So at this phase, typically they then move to the next stronger immunosuppressive
Yes.
drug like prednisone and then or methotrexate. Was that offered to you?
Yeah, of course.
Why did you not want to use the medications, the prednisone or the methotrexate?
That time in my life, I just had my son. My son was about 3 years old. If I took it, I knew in the long run that I probably wouldn't make it, just because that's steroids, right? I mean, it would ruin the inside of my body, my organs.
Yes.
So I told myself, okay, this is not going to be something that I'm going to do. So just so happened, that's when I met my girlfriend's mom.
Oh.
And, it was a blessing at that, time in my life where, it just happened. It just happened at the right moment.
So it was like a chance meeting.
Yeah.
She's a person you normally don't see. Okay. Yeah, I would say maybe it was a blessing.
Yeah.
All right. Did my diagnosis make sense to you and your husband when you both came in to see me?
Yeah.
Did any medical doctor ever explain autoimmune diseases and what causes them to you before?
No, never.
What did you think about the conventional medical treatment at that time when you found out that it only suppresses your immune system for a period of time?
Honestly, it did upset me just because I trusted them to, I mean, when you see a doctor, you expect to actually have them take care of you. And, it's just unfortunate that they just didn't help me. I mean, I've seen one doctor for so many years. I just thought that I could, really open up how I felt, and maybe, he would understand just having to go through, I mean, I thought he could understand my feelings of what I was going through.
What happened?
I remember I was at my worst. This is back in 2004, because 2005 I was planning to get married.
Okay.
So I asked him, okay, you know what? I'm getting married 2005 in July. I need to be clear. If I could get clear, just half of my body, I would totally appreciate that. And so, he's like, okay, why don't you do light treatment? So I did that. I did that 3 times a week. 3 times a week.
Every week for
every week
months?
For months. And I did it for 6 months, I believe. Nothing.
No change.
No. Yeah. So, there were some areas that did clear, like my upper body did clear. Actually, I had a big spot right here.
Okay.
And still, better than nothing, but just, I wanted to get clear.
Yeah, yeah. I can understand you want to take really good pictures for your wedding. But actually, I've had a few patients who came in to see me, giving me 6 months or 9 months to help clear their skin. And thank God, I think all of them made it. But it does take a while to clear up your skin. What type of treatment did I recommend for you when to treat and clear up your psoriasis?
My food, my diet. That's the only thing you recommended. No, my supplements, of course, that I needed to take every single day, before meal, after meal, during meal, which was because like you said, I don't like taking pills. And so these pills were huge, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, okay, he's going to make me want to take this. So in the beginning, the first month more I was like, this is not going to work. My diet's not going to work. But, you know, I was motivated. I was, like I said, like I was in a time in my life where I needed to, you know, make a change. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you, tell us about the diet you were on? You know, what kind of foods could you eat on the diet?
You gave me a list of what not to eat and what to eat.
Okay.
The list that I couldn't eat was basically things that I wanted to eat, which is, you know, like eggplant. I love eggplant, tomato, bell pepper,
Okay.
white rice,
Mhm.
crackers, ice cream, you know, typical stuff.
Pasta,
Bread.
and also the goodies, right? The
Right.
cookies, cakes, pies, pastries, chocolates,
That I couldn't
dairy
eat.
products. Yeah, so a lot of the foods probably that you were eating, I told you couldn't eat anymore. All right. So what did you think of the treatment? You know, it sounded like you didn't think it was going to work.
Kind of. I was like, okay, how is this going to work, really, without, you know, eating certain foods?
Yeah.
So,
Just a diet change and some supplements. How is that going to work? So we were actually treating the toxins that were in your body. And that's why the diet changed. So we eliminated a lot of sugars or simple carbohydrates and a lot of the most common food allergens in America. So some of them are the nuts also, as well as soy and corn and coffee and mushrooms, alcohol. So as some of my patients have mentioned on the TV show before, it's not a fun diet. So did you think the treatment was crazy?
yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. Most people do. And I also told you at your first visit that you would actually get worse before you get better.
Right.
Right. So would you explain what that was? Because you went through it.
I went through it.
Yeah. So how bad did you get?
I got really, really sick because I had so much toxins in my body. For the first couple months, I barely could eat. Well, not eat, but more like walk. I'm sorry. I couldn't walk.
Because you're swelling in your feet.
Yes. I was. I had to eat my lunch, breakfast, and dinner right in bed. What else? It was bad.
Yeah. And your skin got worse.
Got really bad.
Yeah. But you hung in there.
I did.
Why'd you hang in there? A lot of people would have just thrown in the towel.
Because if I didn't go through it, then I would have to live my life back to
How it was
before. So I gave it a try.
All right. Well, you sure did,
Yeah.
Evelyn. Man. All right. So, at the first visit when I told you that in order to clear up your psoriasis, you would have to change your diet the way we talked. Right? You have to eliminate all the foods that you love, and then you'd have to eat, a certain diet. And it would take you, I'm not sure how long I mentioned to you, it would take you like 9 months or so or a year for your skin to clear up.
Yes.
Did you think you could do it?
At that time, half and half.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you had some hope.
I did have some
You
hope.
had some hope, all right, okay. So it doesn't sound like you knew anything about naturopathic medicine at that time.
No.
You were just adventurous.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we know, okay, you started this treatment. You were pretty bad when you came in. The psoriasis is covering your whole body. Most people would have thought, man, that's bad. But then after about a month or so, your psoriasis even got worse than that.
Right.
And the reason why is, the reason why we expect the psoriasis to flare up when you come in to see naturopathic physicians is because, for the most part, most people who have psoriasis or eczema are using corticosteroids, right, to control their psoriasis. and that keeps the toxins in the body. But when you come in to see a naturopathic physicians, we're wanting the toxins to leave. So we're not going to give any kind of immunosuppressive medication. So the poisons are coming out. They're coming out fast and furious. The skin flares up bad. You're suffering, but you hung in there like a bulldog. All right. You know, but even though you were suffering from the psoriasis worsening in the first couple of months, would you tell the audience what was happening with your other symptoms? You know, the headaches, the nausea, the constipation. What was going on with that?
My headaches, I didn't have no headaches at all during that process. My nausea disappeared. My constipation, none.
None?
None.
I mean, you were going every day now?
Every single day.
And before you were
Yeah.
going once every 7 days?
Yeah.
All right. What happened to your energy level?
Honestly, I was on the go. I
You had
had
a
so
lot of
many energy that, I mean, it was crazy. It was, yeah.
So even though you were suffering,
Mm-hmm.
you had a lot of energy.
Yep.
All right. Okay. You know, the audience is looking at you now.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't see any kind of psoriasis on your body at all. All right. So we're not going to even go through, you know, the healing process that you went through. You just got better, better, and better over time.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they're thinking, that was 2007. You know,
Right.
what about, you know, this is 2011. What happened during that time? So to kind of speed up the time clock, before we talk about that, you're not taking any kind of medication now, are you?
No.
Okay.
The only thing I'm taking is the supplements you recommended.
And when did you stop the medications? You know, the corticosteroid ointments, those
this
kinds of
is
things?
right before I saw you, I stopped.
You stopped?
Yeah.
You haven't used any since?
Oh, no.
Okay. And some of the audience might be thinking, she's taking medications, you know.
Yeah.
All right. The audience probably wants to know what you were eating or what you are eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because, you know, if you're not eating pasta and breads and corn and tofu and pork, what are you eating?
Good food, better food. For breakfast, typically what I do is I rotate. I always have baked chicken with baked pumpkin, chicken with vegetable, turkey burger, chicken soup. What else?
Steaks?
Steaks. I love my steaks. Barbecue steak, barbecue chicken, just basically chicken, turkey, and fish. Salmon, right.
All right. But the beef has to be a certain kind, right? A special type. It has to be organic or free range. And we'll talk about that in the next few questions. But by October 2007, your psoriasis was about 99% eliminated.
Right.
Yeah. How were you feeling at that time? Because that was literally about 9 months or so after you started. How did you feel?
10 million times better. A lot better.
When was the last time your skin was that well?
Honestly, back in high school, maybe ninth grade.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Maybe before that, because...
Like elementary school?
No. Early
Like
high school.
7th or 8th grade?
Early high school.
Okay, maybe 8th grade?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people probably think you're only about 21 right now.
Yeah.
But that was, high school was at least over a decade ago, right? Okay. Just so that, high school was over a decade ago, so it's been about like 20 years, like
20
you were
years.
saying. Okay. So it was about 20 years, let's say 15 years from that time that your skin was that good.
Right.
That was the last time. So, but, you know, we had some problems. At that time, you know, we started to add some food back into your diet, right?
Right.
When your skin clears up about let's say 95% or better, we typically start to reintroduce foods into your diet to check for food sensitivities or food intolerance, otherwise known as maybe allergies.
Right.
What happened soon after we started testing for food sensitivities?
I flared again.
Which foods did you react to?
Tomatoes and egg.
Tomatoes and egg.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to your skin? What kind of flare-up are we talking about?
It started off really small patches, and then maybe within a week and a half to 2 weeks, almost like 50% of my body
was covered
again.
You went from 99% back to 50% within literally about like a month or so.
Yeah, within a month.
I mean, a lot of people would have been devastated.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do it?
Yes, it is disappointing because you come from 99% clear to going back to 50%. You're thinking, okay, how could this happen? But I was determined to do it the second time. I knew that within the nine months of getting cleared, I couldn't have traded that to anything. So I was determined to go back to the diet again. And at that moment, at that time, I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to test food ever. So, I was firm that I wasn't, yeah.
Okay, so you just,
no.
I'm never going to test food again.
Yeah,
So you rather have completely beautiful skin
oh, yeah, definitely.
than eating eggs or bread or
right.
or pastries.
It's not like I haven't had it. It was something that my body couldn't take, so I had to accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to say it again for the audience because they probably are stunned just, because you're telling them that you would give up all those great tasting foods to have beautiful skin or healthy skin.
Right.
Say. All right. I think for most people, they are pretty devastated, because, your skin was 99% better. And then now it's 50% better because you reacted to food, these foods.
Right.
Did I prepare you for any type of negative reaction you might have from the foods?
You did mention that I might react, and at that time I'm thinking, okay, eggs and tomato, there's no way I'm gonna react. But I was really I found that I was very sensitive to that certain food.
Yeah.
So I just had to start over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was determined.
So you were surprised
Oh yeah.
that eggs and tomatoes produce a lot of reactions. Most of the patients that come in to see me, we put them on the strict diet, right? I explain to them that we're eliminating the eggs, tomato, bell peppers, eggplant, a few other foods because of the possibility that they may be sensitive to that food, which is causing their skin problem.
Right.
And I know all of them are thinking in their head, I shouldn't say all, let's say about 90% are thinking in their head, I'm not allergic to tomatoes. I've been eating tomatoes my whole life. How can I be allergic to tomatoes? But lo and behold, you were.
I were.
And you were pretty shocked.
Oh yeah, because I never expected that. Tomatoes and eggs? Yeah, didn't expect that.
Yeah, you think benign food, harmless food. How can that cause my psoriasis? Okay. But we got back on track, right?
Yes.
And then again, by November of 2008, you were again about 99% better.
99%.
Okay. And then we were ready to test for food sensitivities again, but what happened soon after that?
I did tell you that I didn't want to.
Okay.
But I did react again.
You remember what to?
It was very hard at that time to determine what I was allergic to because my diet was still the same. Like I said, I ate the same thing. But when I went back to really think about what I was eating, we didn't find out that the meat that I was originally having for the first, well, actually, the whole entire time I was seeing you, the organic, what had happened was they switched their meat
Mm-hmm.
over to non-organic, which we didn't know of.
You didn't know they
No.
had made the switch,
They
right?
didn't mention anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So the reason why I have the patients avoid commercially raised beef is because the farmers that raise these commercially raised or regular cows for production for slaughter for meats, they typically give the cows growth hormones, steroids, and estrogens. And these medications, one, are immunosuppressive drugs, but two, they cause problems within the body that can produce these toxins. So, I don't want to go into how the toxins are being produced because that might take another half an hour. But and that's why we eliminate these commercially raised beef. So initially, for about, let's say, a year and a half,
Year and a half.
you were eating organic beef
Right.
every day.
Every day.
And then you started to flare up in November of 2008, and we didn't know why. And then your husband figured it out, right? Because he was the one who was buying the beef,
Right.
and he learned that the meat market that he used to buy the organic beef from had switched that meat from organic to non-organic.
Yes.
And a lot of people might think, how can just eating regular beef make a huge difference in somebody's outcome? But it does, because they do use a lot of these medications in the animals. So you were eating that regular commercially raised beef for about 3 or 4 months, yeah, before
Yes.
you started to flare out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what happened was your husband would buy a lot of beef all at one time.
Yes.
Yeah, about like a couple of months worth.
Couple of months worth.
Yeah.
Right.
So that he probably bought a bunch of organic beef,
Mm-hmm.
and the meat market probably switched to regular beef within that 2-month period.
Right,
They
within-
probably had a sign out for a week or 3, but your husband came in after they took the sign down, and he just thought he
Right.
was buying the same organic beef.
organic.
But then, unfortunately, he started to flare up.
Flare up.
How bad did you flare up?
This one was a lot bad than the first incident.
worse.
Right.
So greater than 50%
Yes.
of your body.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This must have been, I mean, for most people to flare up this bad twice. And these reasons, the reason why you flared up was, kind of minor reasons, I would think, in
Right.
people's minds. But for you, the flare up was bad.
Was bad.
Was major. But you hung in there.
I did.
How
Again. Because like I mentioned, I wouldn't have traded. Because within that time frame that I did get 99% better, I mean, that's like, I could wear shorts.
Mhm.
I could wear a tank top.
So
I
you
mean-
were wearing shorts and tank tops
Right.
and short dresses
Mhm.
during that time. And
So-
short sleeve shirts and
Yes.
sleeveless tops too?
Tube tops. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I guess you knew that our treatment was very different than the treatment you had before from conventional medicine. Can
Correct.
you explain that? How did you know it was different, or how did you know it was working?
It was working because, look at me now. I mean, I don't have it. I'm 100% clear. My energy's crazy. I have so much energy. I don't get menstrual cramps. I don't get headaches. My life is way better than 10 years, 20 years ago. Yes.
So all your other symptoms cleared up too.
Yeah.
So
Cleared
no
up.
menstrual cramps. I mean,
No.
your menstrual cramps are bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd have them every menses,
Yes.
but you don't have them anymore.
No.
And you have your menses regularly.
Regularly.
Okay. No headaches anymore.
No headaches anymore, except when there's VOG.
Oh,
But
okay, yeah.
besides that, on a no.
And it's minor type headaches, I guess,
Really
compared
minor.
to how they were before.
Right.
No nausea,
No.
no constipation.
No constipation.
You've been going every day for
Every
years now.
single day. Yes.
How does that feel? I mean, that must be,
Um,
because if you were moving your bowels once a week for many years, and now you're going every day, that's got to be a big change.
oh yeah, definitely. Inside, I feel 20 million times better. I mean, it's hard to explain, but it's great. It's awesome. Yeah.
Okay. And we'll talk about the insomnia a little bit later, though. But because you flared up right again because of that beef. You flared up worse than you were before. So we cut out that commercially raised beef out of your diet. You went back to organic beef.
Organic beef.
Okay. And then what happened to your psoriasis?
I got cleared.
Cleared up again.
Cleared up again.
All right. So, and here you are, completely well. The viewing audience, they're seeing photos of your skin over the time period of recovery. So, so unfortunately, we don't have photos of your psoriasis when it was at its worst.
Right.
But maybe that's a better thing that we don't, because I'm sure you would be pretty uncomfortable looking at those, and they weren't pretty pictures to look at. Your husband really helped you out quite a bit.
Yes.
During this time. Would you share a little bit about how much support Jesus gave you?
He gave me a lot of support. I mean, throughout the whole process that I was going through, my flare up, just having an 8-hour job, he would still cook for me. He was always there to support me no matter what. He would always keep me happy, gave me, tell me that everything's going to be okay, don't give up. I mean, that's really all I needed. I just needed someone to tell me that it's going to get better. Yeah.
He was a lot of support for you. I mean, when you flared up, he wasn't saying, this isn't working, throw in the towel, take the medications.
Yeah.
He was saying, hang in there.
Hang in there.
Hang in there. Even though you were, at the beginning, when your legs were all swollen, I mean, you could have had severe infections, because typically when you have erythrodermic psoriasis and you have so much fluid loss and protein loss, because you're losing a lot of fluid because your skin is going through its life cycle at 10 times its normal rate, maybe even 30 times its normal rate. You're flaking off a lot of skin every day. So you're losing a lot of fluid, you're losing a lot of protein because your skin is just sloughing off by, let's say, at least a few ounces every day, maybe more. So one, you could become severely dehydrated, or you could get these bad skin infections. And if you do, we would have to put you on antibiotics. But you hung in there, as well as Jesus.
Yes.
And I guess that was a big comfort for you.
Oh, yeah.
Evelyn, you didn't know about naturopathic medicine back in 2007. How do you, what do you think of naturopathic medicine now, and how do you know it's working to keep your psoriasis away? I mean, the audience might be thinking, she had 2 flare-ups from these foods. She might have one tomorrow. How do you know you're better or cured from your psoriasis?
I know that I'm cured because with these 3 attempts that I got my flare-ups, this is my 4th one now. I mean, I was determined to just keep on going. I mean, people will never understand what I did go through. I mean, the picture is a proof that, that I was really bad. I mean, people would not recognize my skin now. I mean, how do I know it worked? Because I'm a living proof of it. I mean,
you've never been this well before.
Never.
And never for this long, anyway.
Never this long. Yeah.
So, a lot of people might be thinking, I don't know if I could do that diet for the rest of my life. How do you put it into words why you would continue eating a strict diet? It's healthy, though.
Oh, yeah.
But it's void of a lot of the, I guess, the goodies of life that some people, might live for. How do you put it into words for these people?
For me, because like I mentioned in the beginning, I've suffered with psoriasis for years. I mean, it's it was really bad to a point. Like I said, I couldn't wear long sleeve. I couldn't wear. I mean, I could wear I was wearing long sleeve, long pants. I didn't want to live my life like that. I'm young. I mean, I want to be able to go hiking, hang out at the beach. You know, I want to do stuff that normal people do. I couldn't do it. And to have that, I mean, to have psoriasis, I mean, it takes a lot of your, well, how can I explain?
You're so focused on it.
Like, it's hard to explain. But anyway, I'd rather live my life this way just because this is who I am. Back then, I was always ashamed. I was embarrassed. I was miserable. I wasn't happy. I mean, no.
Yeah.
I refused to. So, you know, I know that this diet that I'm doing right now, I mean, I know that this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I mean, people think I'm crazy because I can't eat certain food. I mean, for me, it's a life change. Like I mentioned, it's not like I hadn't have pizza, pie, sugar. I mean, you know, cake. I don't care for those. I mean, I prefer living my life this way than what I did from before.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand. I mean, you're not just talking about healthy, but you're talking about you'd rather have healthy skin.
Healthy skin.
Yeah, and you know, you had mentioned to me that a lot of your family members and friends
didn't know
you had psoriasis.
No.
I mean, you hid it so well.
Yeah.
That must have been exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to hide the psoriasis. But you were focused on hiding your psoriasis, I guess, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's what you're saying. You're just tired of, you don't want to hide.
living that life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hide anymore.
Yeah. Good for you. I mean, you know, people are seeing your skin on TV, television today, and you look beautiful.
Thank you. It's still surreal, but hey, I'm happy. I mean, it's crazy. I'm happy. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So I guess going through those flare-ups during the treatment still was worth it. You know?
Yeah. It was worth it, of course.
I mean, I don't know. You know, I would think at least half the people to flare up that badly. If 100 people went through this treatment, even though they got 99% better, if half of them flared up 50% or greater one time or two times, half of them would give up right then and there, I think. But you I
just kept on going.
Tenacious. Good for you. Determined.
Yeah.
Is that typically you as a person?
Yes, you can say, because, you know, if I want something better for myself, I'm just going to go for it. And this is something that was good for me. I mean, not only for my health, but, you know, just physically, emotionally, it's awesome. Yeah. So.
All right. I remember when you first told me that you didn't wear shorts for like the longest time. It was probably like 15 or 16 years back then when you told me, and that you were so excited to wear shorts because you hadn't worn it for so long. I know a lot of people cannot imagine or fathom that thought because it's so common for them to be wearing shorts. They're wearing shorts every day.
Every day.
But that was your dream.
Yes. I only asked for one day to just wear shorts in my life at that time.
So you just wanted one day?
Just one day, just to wear comfortable clothes. Yeah, but at that time, seeing conventional,
wasn't happening.
It wasn't happening.
All right.
So.
You know, what would you like to say to anyone suffering from severe psoriasis?
I'd like to tell them that there is hope. There is, you know, Dr. Cheetah, they can help you. To never give up. Just, if this is something that you would, I mean, if you're determined to do it, go for it. Because, like I mentioned, I mean, I'm a living proof. I mean, it's good. It's it's been a blessing.
I can
So,
see it. I can see it
yeah.
in your face. I know the audience can too.
Yeah, so,
That you are really happy.
oh, I'm so happy. Very happy.
All
Yeah.
right. So, what do you think about naturopathic medicine now? I mean, you didn't know of it before.
Mm-mm.
What do you think of it now?
It had helped me in a lot of ways. I mean, what I do is I like to tell people what naturopath is all about. It's way better than conventional medicine. Way better.
Way better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Way better.
How has naturopathic medicine changed your life?
It changed me in many ways. I mean, just getting my health back, being able to just be free again, not having to put ointment every night, 3 times a day. I mean, that's greasy stuff. I mean, it gets on your clothes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the diet that you give me is just having to change my diet, which is not easy, but I'm determined. Supplements, you know, it's simple, and you get better. I mean, it's tough, but to go through this, who wouldn't want to go through it? It's
And
good.
have nice skin
Have
like
nice
yours.
skin.
Do you
Yeah.
get compliments about your skin now?
Oh yeah, people. I mean, see, where I work, I deal with a lot of clients,
Okay.
and you know, there's a few clients, regular clients that I've been seeing over the time frame that I was gone, and you know, people's like, oh, she's always gone, because you know, like I mentioned, 3 attempts, right?
Right.
So when they come back, I mean, when I come back to work, because I take some time off, they ask, oh, what happened? So I tell them my story, and they look at me like, no, there's just no way.
You flared out.
Yeah, like they don't understand.
Yeah.
Because before they saw me, I didn't have psoriasis. So, you know, they're like, really? You had psoriasis, but your skin's so beautiful. And I'm like, really? Thank you, but yeah. So I tell them about the story, and, you know, of course I get good compliments.
All right.
Yeah.
I bet, because when I look at your skin now, beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. All right, Evelyn, because of your experience, I guess, you know, you've referred a few people to come and see me also.
Right.
But one of these patients' recoveries is incredible. Would you like to say something about this friend of yours?
This friend of mine, we're not very close. She's someone that we do business together with. When I first met her initially, at that time, I was cleared. I was 99% clear. And so every year I would see her to do business. And the second time I saw her, I wasn't there. My husband went to go and see her, and she was curious, like, oh, what happened to Evelyn, you know? And my husband mentioned that I got really sick and what had happened to me. And so he mentioned this, you as my doctor, and what I was going through and so forth. And she couldn't believe what was happening with me. And so the third year, when I went to see her for business again, she was like, oh, I've heard about you, and what, how you doing? I told her I'm doing better, and I went to see you, and I explained again what had happened. And at that time, she was suffering with breast cancer, and she remembered your name. I don't remember. I think I gave her your business card, and so she went to see you for her breast cancer. And before she saw you, she had mentioned to me that she refused to see regular doctors, conventional medicine, to get treatment. So she went to see you, and she's she's cancer-free now.
Cancer-free?
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. Her story is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, she refused conventional medicine, so no surgery, no radiation, no chemotherapy, but today cancer-free. So all because of your chance meeting again with her, sharing your story. So I know, Evelyn, that you are going to reach and touch a lot of people who see this TV program. I want to thank you so much for joining us and sharing your incredible story with us. And I know the audience is wishing you the best. So for the audience, best wishes and good luck.
Thank you.
And continued success with beating psoriasis. I know if you continue that diet, you're going to be psoriasis free for a long, long time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm sorry to say that our time is up. Evelyn, thank you so much for joining us today. And for everyone watching today, good luck and continued success with beating psoriasis. And thank you so much for sharing your incredible story with us on Island Wellness. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in and joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the program and learned something of value. Our hope is that these stories inspire in you the hope that true health is attainable and you can have it when you are ready. Please continue to look for and tune into Island Wellness on Olelo Television. We have more incredible heartwarming stories of people overcoming incurable disease and illness in the next coming months. My name is Dr. Jason Uchida. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.